All right. Welcome. This is intended to be PAM CAST for October 21st, 2025. We've started the streaming. As soon as we get technical confirmation from our production staff, we'll begin in earnest. Until then, you can see my orange shirt, and I'll tell you why I'm wearing an orange shirt later, and we can just be entertained. I can tell you something about what's happening personally. I just got back from a trip to Hawaii. It was a lot of fun. Visited my daughter and my grandkids. Super fun. It's turning fall here. And we have a thumbs up from production staff, so we're all good to go. This is PAMCast for October 21st, 2025. This is an update on TechIDManager for all existing partners and people interested in TechIDManager, what was happened in the last month, what's the general state of the company, what we plan to be working on in the next month. This is intended for people familiar with TechIDManager. If you are unfamiliar with TechIDManager or you're curious about what it is, a lot of this might not make sense, but we would love to talk to you about our privileged account management for managed service providers. You can go to techidmanager.com and request a demo, and we'll show you all about it, or you can read about it on the website. So this is the general format, just like every month. What have we been up to, what new features are, what's coming next time. I have leaves up there because this is the beginning of fall. We here in the upstate of South Carolina are enjoying some beautiful fall weather. It got sudden cold. All of a sudden, fall is here with a vengeance. The leaves are starting to change, and they go from that green to the red. I love this time of year. I love driving to the mountains and seeing all the leaf changes, the leaf peeping as it's called. It's real pretty. That's what's been going on. And I went to Hawaii, which is very different. Hawaii and South Carolina are a drastic change from each other. My daughter lives in Hawaii, and I went to visit her for a little bit. So much fun, so different. It's like mid-80s, high UV index, and then come back here, and it's cold, and the leaves are changing, and it's not a high UV index. Anyway, so to work. What have we been working on? Well, we continue to work on our SOC 2 compliance. We got the initial report just before PAMCast last month. This month, we've been spent addressing the gap report issue items that were in there. Simple things, really, like background checks for employees, other such minors, some of the verbiage in the documentation, some of the verbiage in the policies, minor adjustments like that. We're addressing those, and then we will begin, sometime this month, we will begin the SOC 2 Type 1 audit. It's already paid for, it's already on the books. We just got to finish these gap issues, and we'll do that. Again, just like last time, a lot of our development effort, probably over 50% of our development effort, has been going toward a major new feature that is getting worked on. It is very exciting for us. It is a branching out from the privileged account management into a whole new but adjacent feature set. Very excited about it. Stay tuned, and we will tell you about it when it is ready. When we have a MVP available or a beta version, we will make an announcement, and people that are already TechIDManager partners will have access to try it out and see what they like. A big thing that went on just recently was that AWS outage. AWS said it was for US East 1 only. Whenever I see something like that, I'm often reminded of that picture over there. That is from 𝗬𝘁cie𝗽. It says all modern digital infrastructure, and has this big complicated thing. And the bottom right corner, there's one tiny little block that says a project some random person in Nebraska has been thanklessly maintaining since 2003. About every year or so, US East 1 has some major problem, and it brings down all kinds of services. It's because the US East 1 is the default place to put something when you start an AWS instance of it. We personally don't have, we as a company don't have anything in US East 1 because of that reason. Everything we do is in East 2, West, all the different regions around the world. Also, we have stayed out of East 1. We have stuff in the government East, but nothing in East 1. We were not directly affected by that outage, but at the time of the outage, all of our CPU loads went up and have kind of stayed up, which is an interesting thing because our instances aren't in East 1. They're not directly affected by anything that AWS has said is happening, but we are definitely seeing some sort of follow-on or tertiary effects from it that tonight and over the weekend we're going to make some architectural server changes to address. So we put a notice on it about our website, ruffiansoftware.com/notices. There will be a possible minor server outage tonight. Probably won't notice. There's a possibility that some servers will go down for a few minutes at most and then come back up. From about 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. tonight, we'll be doing that. I love 𝗂𝘁cie and I love that picture. I've seen a version of that comic that instead of the project, random project, it said US East, AWS US East 1 in that little thing. That's the one I want to find, but that wasn't the original, so this is the original from 𝗂𝘁cie. Go check out 𝗂𝘁cie if you've never heard of him. He's awesome. I love his work. Features, the boring technical stuff. New features from this month. We brought in, we released the Entra ID base link version 6.147. This is the first 6.0 version of the TechID agent for Entra ID. It includes capability to do GCC, group membership for TechID accounts, TechID management accounts, and multiple instances inside Entra ID. You can read all about it here on the release page for it. If you are updating a base link installation, you only need to update the single base installation. You don't have to update any of the links. If you'd like to make an instance of a second link, you can, or an instance of a link, you can just run the linker again. It'll ask you, would you like to make another instance? And you say yes. That was released just recently. It's been in beta for quite a while. It hasn't had any issues. We like it. If you'd like to install, the only important thing to remember is if you want to install a GCC base, you need to use the GCC command line. And the instance types, GCC to GCC or commercial to commercial, are all disallowed. You can't mix and match commercial and GCC or GCC out. We wrote some documentation on the agent group command line. The agent group command line for the TechID agent allows you to tell an agent from the command line on the machine where the agent's running a group to join, an existing agent group to join. This adds the possibility to do quite a bit of automation when you're deploying agents, and you can have them automatically join agent groups. So if you have pods or you do rights based on some other layout rather than the all domains agent group, this will let you automate that when you deploy it. There's talking about it. There's a bunch of documentation. If you have any questions, we are here to help. support@TechIDManager.com, or you can read through the documentation and try it out. The important piece is the agent group has to exist before you run this command line on the agent. If the agent group doesn't, and that's for a real specific reason. We didn't want someone to be in the situation where thousands of agent groups were created by a bug in a script that deployed and set agent groups by putting the wrong variable in the wrong place. That's simply what it is. We have a new version of the TechID host and portal going out tonight. This was a planned release that was going to happen this weekend. Has some CPU usage improvements in it, but because of the AWS outage that occurred, we're going to push forward that release to tonight because of the increased CPU usage that has been happening since the AWS outage started. Even though it's been fixed, we're still seeing increased CPU utilization without any real distinct reason why. So that's what's happening. That'll be happening like I said earlier, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is what it is. Not much else has been released this week, or this month, because this major new feature that's in the work is taking most of the development effort and time. Next time, we will have, like I've been promising, there's another secret agent coming. This will be, like we released the Mac agent, there's another agent coming. We would love it if you could make a guess. Throw down the doobly-doos down below if you think you know which agent is coming. We're also planning for next time to release another version of the Entra ID base with shared accounts for Entra ID. This will probably be a little bit, it'll be pretty straightforward, obvious, just like the other agents. They'll just tell the Entra ID base, or the link, which account you're taking over and sharing between people instead of making unique accounts. So they'll also have just in time with it. It'll have all that kind of stuff for the shared accounts. This just is in the works. Hasn't been finished yet. Hasn't been tested. So that's really short this month. It's the most of the stuff that we're working on in development. We're talking about, and not going to talk about. We're just going to say it's a major new feature that's coming. And we'll say you can sign up for our newsletter, and you'll get all the information about stuff that's coming as soon as it happens, instead of waiting for the once a month PAMCast. So, short, sweet, simple. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, support@TechIDManager.com. Love to hear from you. Have a great day and enjoy this beautiful fall weather that we're all having.